Okay, if you don't mind moving the water bottle just so it's not blocking my line of sight to the light, you can put it on the table just to make sure it's not going to be in my way. Do remember, as per your earlier match today, that there are 12 toss-ups in the first quarter, 12 toss-ups in the second quarter, and 12 toss-ups in the fourth quarter as well. Sorry, 10 toss-ups in the second quarter. So 12, 10, 12, the third quarter as always. Nothing's changed there. Again, we are doing a live stream of this. That video will be on our website for posterity, but otherwise, please no recording. Okay, we have a go signal as far as the live stream. Excellent. Okay, so just one final reminder to the audience, cell phones make sure are muted. If you do need to get up, please, if at all possible, do so between the quarters. If you must get up, if nothing else, do so between questions, not during questions. Ready, James?
No, I'm so sorry. 1 second.
What?
He can't stare at his family, so we're going to move out of his face. That's just too crazy.
You can watch the live stream, or you're just moving. Okay.
For his sake.
Gotcha.
I'm not that mean.
This will be the first junior varsity or varsity national title, not only for these two schools, but for either the state of Washington or the state of Florida at our national championships. Congratulations on that accomplishment. Also, I know we have had solo teams win at the elementary middle school level and the varsity level. I don't think we've ever had a solo team win at the JV level. Shall see how everything goes. Good luck to Ransom Everglades, good luck to Hazen. Let's begin with toss-up 1. Born Otto of Châtillon, this pope studied at Reims under Bruno of Signy. This pope condemned King Philip I of France for an adulterous union, and the tenure of this pope included an influential council at Piacenza, which addressed political crises in the Byzantine Empire. At another council, this pope announced Deus Vult, or God Vult. Urban II is good to start us off. Toss-up 2. This organization inspired the name of an American group that used the slogan, "Don't Vote, Revolt." Martyrs and soldiers were among the 5 categories for members of this group, who aimed to combat a series of outdated beliefs known as the Four Olds.
It's like the red students?
Now, for members as the Four Olds, capitalist roaders were targeted by this group, whose earliest members came from a school linked at Tsinghua University. For 10 points, name this organization of students that supported Chairman Mao.
Red Guard?
Red Guards is correct, yeah. Toss-up 3. Training the young and engaging in community activities were among the 6 categories that all activities in this municipality were thought to have attempted to achieve. A work about this place in transition examined cultural conflicts, and this place was described as a community as small as 30-odd thousand. This location was the subject of fieldwork by Robert and Helen Lind, which utilized an approach of a cultural anthropologist. For 10 points, identify this American town that was the subject of a set of sociological studies in Indiana.
New Harmony.
No, not New Harmony.
You're Indian.
This is Middletown. I've never heard of that myself. Toss-up 4. These Olympic Games hosted equestrian events in Stockholm due to the strict quarantine rules of its host country. These Olympics became infamous for a water polo match called the...
1956 Melbourne.
You can take that, yeah, or the 1956 Summer Olympics. Toss-up 5. In this region, Manuel Fernandez Silvestre was killed during a military action that ended in retreat. In July of 1909, forces from this region attacked workers building a rail bridge aiming to provide access to iron mines at Navia, a Confederate republic that existed in this region from 1921 to 20. Rith is correct for 10 points. Turning the page to toss-up 6. This composer outlined a devout adherence to Catholicism in the historical opera Saint Francois d'Assise. This composer included a part for a type of early electronic instrument called an ondes matinaux for the Turangalila symphony.
Messiaen.
Is correct for 10. Toss-up 7. This politician gained fame for leading an investment banking firm that lost the most employees in the September 11th attacks. This politician is known for his advocacy of cryptocurrencies such as Tether, and with Linda McMahon, this politician served as co-chair of Donald Trump's 2024 transition team. This politician, this politician initially jockeyed against Scott Bessent for the role of Secretary of Treasury. For 10 points, he is chair and CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, who serves as Donald Trump's Secretary of Commerce. Time. This is Howard Lutnick. Toss-up 8. Implemented in 1921, this policy eliminated the practice of grain requisition and created a group of namesake men, a class of private merchants who prospered briefly. This policy replaced war.
The new economic plan.
That is correct. 10. Toss-up 9. World Trade Center hero Rick Rescorla appeared on the cover of a book about this battle in which the Boeing B-52 Stratofortress was first used for tactical support. Morley Safer reported on this battle in which Hal Moore's men were involved at landing Zone X-ray. This battle was the subject of a book by Joseph Galloway titled We Were Soldiers Once and Young, and this battle occurred during the 1965 Plague Coup campaign. For 10 points, identify this first major battle fought between the U.S. Army and the People's Army of Vietnam.
Quezon.
Not bad. This is Yadram. Number 10. This country was first encountered by Europeans when Commodore John Byron discovered its northern islands in 1765. The HMS Dolphin and HMS Tamar visited this modern country during a circumnavigation voyage under Captain Samuel Wallis in 1767. After becoming a British protectorate in 1892, this country was the site of nuclear tests on Christmas Island during the 1950s. For 10 points, identify this Pacific island nation. It was known as the Gilbert Island.
Kiribati.
Kiribati, or pronounced Kiribati, that's fine. Toss 11. Laurent Désiré Kabila overthrew this dictator. Yes. We needed to put Mobutu, but those words are all on the page. In that order. Toss of 12. Last of the quarter. In 589, the Third Church Council held in this city officially codified. Nice buzz, yes. Okay, that's the first quarter. And we have a score confirming of 60 for Hazen and 30 for Ransom Everglades, okay? Ransom, do you have any substitutions or you team four? All right, so the teams subs, just need a quick drink of water. Okay. And then we'll move into the second quarter. Remember, 10 toss-up bonus pairs in this one. Good luck, toss-up. This treaty followed a civil war in which two brothers, Charles and Louis, allied against a third who lost. Verdun is correct. Your bonus in the Treaty of Verdun, Lothair I received this imperial city in North Rhine-Westphalia, the site of Charlemagne's primary residence. The remaining portion of that residence in this city is known as the Palatine Chapel. Aachen is correct. Toss 2. Prior to this battle, one commander established Fort Recovery at the spot of Arthur Sinclair's defeat, and William Campbell closed the British fort to the losing side following this battle. Due to heavy rains, many fighters on one side of this battle were away breaking their fast, leading to a disorganized ambush along the Maumee River. For 10 points, identify this battle in which Northwestern Confederacy warriors led by Blue Jacket and Little Turtle. Fallen Timbers is correct. Your bonus, during the Ohio campaign, Anthony Wayne was consistently undermined by the subordinate who was posthumously revealed to be an agent for the Spanish crown. As governor of Louisiana, this officer participated in Burr's conspiracy. Wilkinson is correct. Also, number 3. This speech was republished by Francis Dana Barker Gage during the Civil War in a version which changed the speaker's Jersey Dutch verbiage. Marius Robinson published a more accurate. Is correct. Your bonus, Dutch was also spoken in this town in upstate New York, which was the birthplace of U.S. President Martin Van Buren, providing one of his nicknames. Say it again? Peter. Yes, that's correct. Toss 4. The Nubian expedition of this king failed for lack of supplies, but produced a Nile trading post and tribute of ivory and an okapi. The Phoenician sailors of this king refused to attack Carthage, and this king lost a whole army sent against the seaboard.
Cambyses.
From?
Cambyses, the first.
Against Siwa due to a sandstorm. After killing the Apis bull and violating Zoroastrianism by burning the mummy of Pharaoh Amasis, this king was killed in a revolt by a Magian pretending to be his brother. For 10 points, named the son of Cyrus, the second Achaemenid king who conquered Egypt.
Cambyses II.
Yeah, that's correct. Your bonus, one of the noted accomplishments of Cambyses II was the conquest of this eastern region of Libya, which later became a Roman province with Crete and was declared an autonomous region of Libya in 2012 by its own transitional council.
Sarnesia.
Topic 5. The Supreme Court's ruling in Cooper v. Anderson ruled this concept ineffective. The editor of the Richmond News Leader, James J. Kilpatrick, resuscitated this concept in response to the Supreme Court's ruling in Brown v. Board of Education.
Master resistance.
No. James Madison first proposed this concept in his Virginia Resolution, which opposed the Alien and Sedition Acts. For 10 points, identify this constitutional precept in which a state government places itself between a federal mandate and the citizens of that state.
Nullification.
Prompt.
State nullification.
One more prompt.
State nullification of federal law.
It specifically says prompt on nullification. We need the interposition. 6. The Kamsa of Five Treasures is a book of poems by Nizami, an author from Ganja in this modern-day country. Shah Ismail I wrote over 1,400 verses in this country's local language, which coincided with the blossoming of the Ashik traveling bard culture. A national novel from this country features an antagonist named Nacharyan and describes an interreligious relationship which begins in the 1910s Caucasus with a major development in the plot involving the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. The pseudonymous Kurban Said wrote Ali and Nino about, for 10 points, what country's capital of Baku? Sure. Your bonus, one of Ali and Nino's eponymous characters, Ali Khan, is of Persian descent and Shiite faith, which was adopted by Persia during the rule of this early modern gunpowder dynasty. Toss 7. The wife of this battle's victorious leader names a trophy awarded for gentlemanly conduct in the National Hockey League. During this battle, troops used the creeping barrage tactic and advanced behind specialized formations nicknamed the Glide. Rehearsals on full-scale terrain models helped troops capture a heavily fortified position during this first battle of the Nivelle Offensive in the Department of Pas-de-Calais. For 10 points, identify this 1917 Battle of World War I, which is credited with establishing Canada's reputation.
Vimy Ridge.
Is correct. And your bonus, this general who was made Viscount of Vimy after the battle was later involved in a namesake 1926 constitutional crisis when he refused William Lyon Mackenzie King's request to dissolve Parliament, prompting reforms to the Crown's role in Dominion affairs. Answer?
Lord Byng.
Just getting it in. Yes, this is Julian Byng. Huge Byng trophy being referenced in the toss-up. Toss 8. The leader of this event was brought to one empire's capital in an iron cage after.
Pugachev's rebellion.
Good buzz. 10 points. Your bonus. This Russian author interviewed Pugachev's survivors while researching his historical novel, The Captain's Daughter, which depicts the rebellion through the eyes of a young officer.
Pushkin.
Is correct. Toss 9. This person wrote a text called On Sizes and Distances, which estimated the radii of the sun and moon and their distances from Earth. This person was cited in chapter 3 of the Almagest due to work with epicycles, and he compared the longitudes of two stars to prior observations in order to discover the precession of the equinoxes. For 10 points, in this Greek astronomer and mathematician who hailed from Rhodes and is considered the founder of trigonometry. Pythagoras. This is Hipparchus. Number 10, last of the quarter. This battle was marked by a defection of 20,000 Karluk mercenaries to the winning side. And this battle was preceded a generation earlier by the Battle of Aksu. This battle was immediately preceded by one side gaining control of the Gilgit region, after which the winning side occupied Merv.
Adwa?
No. Prisoners taken at this battle may have spread paper-making technology westward. Yeah, that's correct. And your bonus, the Battle of Talas occurred during this emperor's lengthy reign. He also established the Jadushi system and was forced into retirement by the Amu Shan rebellion. No, it's Tang Xuanzong. Xuanzong is what it means. Okay, so sizable lead for Hazen, 180 to 60. So Hazen will get the first pick. And the categories are civil rights activists, the English Civil War, and Uruguay.
Civil rights activists.
Okay, civil rights activists will be the category. Can we get a timer?
I'll stand in front of the team.
Sure. So Hazen will play first. With civil rights activists as the category, when I say go, then we'll be clear, then we can start. Okay, so the lead-in on these is concerning American civil rights activists, named the ... Okay? All right, good luck with civil rights activists concerning American civil rights activists, named the go. Civil rights leader would be the I Have a Dream, yes, the Alabama Capitol, to which activists led a march from Selma. Sorry?
Bergen.
No, the Southern University in Oxford, where James Meredith enrolled. Yes. The Muslim minister, also known as El Hajj Malik El Shabazz, was assassinated in 1965.
Malcolm X.
Yes. The labor unionist who organized the march on Washington with Bayard Rustin.
Vietnam.
Yes. The former pastor who became mayor of Atlanta and the first black U.S. ambassador to the UN.
Punch.
Now, the campaign led by SCLC President Ralph Abernathy, during which protesters constructed.
People's campaign.
Yes, and the woman who trained Freedom Summer volunteers and said, I am sick and tired of
Clayton Hammer.
Yes, good, okay. So I believe you got 6 for 60 on those, missing 2 and 6. So over here to Ransom for those 2 on the bounce back. Concerning American civil rights activists, named the Alabama Capitol, to which activists led a march from Selma across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Montgomery, sure. And the former pastor who became mayor of Atlanta and the first black U.S. ambassador to the UN. This is Andrew Young. Okay, so 60 for Hazen, 10 for Ransom, and now it will be Ransom's turn to pick from either the English Civil War or Uruguay. English Civil War. Okay. And all of these will begin with the lead-in concerning the English Civil War. I say go. All right, good luck with these. Concerning the English Civil War, name the go. Body part that was removed with an axe from Charleston. Yes. The legislative body that defeated the monarchy. Yes. The leader of the New Model Army who ruled. Yes. The Catholic majority island invaded by the New Model. Yeah. The Royalist cathedral city stronghold in northern England besieged by the Covenanters for 2 months in 1644. No, the 1645 Royalist defeat in West Northamptonshire, which effectively ended their hope for victory in the war.
Marston Moor.
No, the German-English prince and cavalry officer who lost at Marston Moor and names a port city near the Alaskan Panhandle. Yeah, and the first pitched battle of the war fought in Warwickshire in October 1642. Now, okay, so you picked up 5 for 50 points, and we'll turn the other 3 over to Hazen concerning the English Civil War, being the Royalist cathedral city stronghold in northern England besieged by the Covenanters for 2 months in 1644.
Naseby.
This is York. The 1645 Royalist defeat in West Northamptonshire, which effectively ended their hope for victory in the war.
Naseby.
That is Naseby. And the first pitched battle of the war fought in Warwickshire in October 1642. That's the Battle of Edgehill. So 50 for Ransom and 10 for Hazen on the bounce back. As we turn the page to the fourth quarter, the score is checked 250 to 120. But 360 points possible in this fourth quarter with 12 toss-ups to determine the national champion. Teams ready? Good luck. Toss-up. While serving in second in command to Robert Anderson, this person is thought to have been responsible for firing the first doubleday. 30 points. Toss-up 2. This event's central entity was criticized by Daniel Defoe, and it was prompted by the granting of a certain asiento by the Treaty of Utrecht. This event developed after certain 20 points. Toss 3. Among the targets of this operation was a man nicknamed the Red Prince, who was thought to have been the leader of Force 17. A waiter was targeted with
Rathbun.
30 points. Toss 4. The capital of this kingdom contained a temple complex dedicated to various aspects of Shiva, which was known as Sambor Prayakuk. This kingdom is generally believed to have been a loose confederacy, and the rule of this kingdom is sometimes referred to as the pre-Angkor period.
Champa?
Say it again?
Champa.
No. This kingdom was first recorded by Zhou Dahuan in the customs of... No, this is Chen Ma or Zhen Ma or except Chang La. Toss 5. This poet began meeting with a Cincinnati psychiatrist after spending days in front of the television in sorrow after JFK's death. This poet allegedly thought that the job of celestial navigation tower operator was the most poetic in the Air Force. The narrator of a work by this poet claimed to be 6 miles from Earth, loosed from its dream of life, in a work in which the narrator woke to black flak in a certain area of a plane.
Journal?
Is good for 20. Toss 6. After leaving Motown Records, this group regained popularity when
Jackson 5.
when Jerry Polchi and Don Ciccone took over lead vocals on the album Who Loves You. Actor Joe Pesci introduced songwriter Bob Gaudio to Tommy DeVito and this group's frontman, who released solo songs rejected by the group, including My Eyes Adored You. The Four Lovers was the predecessor of this group, whose hits included Walk Like a Man, Sherry, and December 1963. For 10 points, name this early rock group depicted in the musical Jersey Boys.
East Street.
Huh?
That was cool.
Time, yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's 1 team.
Okay, right, sorry. Yes, this is audience.
Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons.
There you go, Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. Sorry. Toss 7. William Howard Taft commissioned this architect to construct Vernon. 30 points. Toss 8. Diodorus Siculus claimed that this ruler was born of a fish goddess and immortal. According to legend, this ruler outfought satraps in Asia by donning armor and personally leading troops. One tradition holds that this wife of Minos ordered the building of lofty terraces, which inspired later writers to imagine the hanging gardens. Some sources credit this queen with constructing irrigation works along the Euphrates and overseeing the creation of defensive walls in Babylon. For 10 points, name this legendary queen of Assyria. Time, this is Semiramis. 9. This leader precipitated the split of the Independent Social Democrats due to a pro-war stance, and this leader's son of the same name joined the pro-Soviet Socialist Unity Party. With Hugo Hasse and Philip Scheidemann, this leader formed the Council of People's Deputies after the November Revolution. Despite being a social democrat, this leader's administration suppressed left-wing revolts using the right-wing Freikorps, and this leader was succeeded by Paul von Hindenburg. For 10 points, named this first president of Weimar, Germany. Yeah, I can take Ebert. Toss 10. In the Hell Creek Formation, Steve Nicholas and Rob Sula discovered a North Dakota fossil site that was named after this city by Robert De Palma. The decree of Canopus was discovered in this city and contains inscriptions in Greek and Demotic. The 21st dynasty was founded by Simendes in this city, which was the subject of a dig by Flinders Petrie. In a 1981 film, the U.S. Army attempts to recruit an archaeologist to recover the Ark of the Covenant from this city before the Nazis. For 10 points, name this ancient Egyptian city, which is featured in Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is Tanis. Two to play, 11 people. This leader was succeeded in one post by Café Filho, who became the first Protestant to hold that position. Discovery of petroleum in this leader's country gave rise to the slogan, "The oil is ours." Coming to power during a constitutionalist revolution, this leader was supported by integralists. Good for 20. And 12. In one story, this kingdom's capital city was home to a set of 4 fountains created by Hephaestus that sprayed milk, wine, oil, and water. This kingdom was home to a pair of bronze-mouthed bulls that breathed fire. While fleeing from this kingdom, a princess distracted her pursuers by cutting her brother Absyrtus into pieces and throwing them into the water. This kingdom was ruled by Aeetes, and this kingdom was the destination of the Argonauts on their quest for the Golden Fleece. For 10 points, identify this ancient Georgian kingdom along the Black Sea, the home of Medea. This is Colchis. Colchis. Clear scores. So, fantastic match, fantastic tournament, great job all around. Why don't teams just stand over here just for a second. This has been a very competitive tournament overall. I think coming into today, we had the 4 teams who were still alive, were had a shot at the title. We still have the B to go. We still have the varsity bowl finals. But for now, let's do the awards for junior varsity first and second, since you all are here. After varsity bowl, yeah. So you all have one match to watch. Yes, you are more than welcome to watch that. There is no junior varsity game of any sort going on at that time. Okay, congratulations, Ransom Everglades. This is your best ever performance in a National History Bowl at the varsity or JV level. Great job all around from your team. Beat the 1 seed in the tournament in the semis. Great tournament overall. And Ransom, come back up. This is your trophy. Take it back to Coconut Grove. Come up. This is your photo. Congratulations, great job. And for one of your coaches, you can take an extra. You have a, okay, and your national champion for the Junior Varsity National History Bowl is Hazen High School. We have 5 of these. Put all around his neck. Mark Spitz.
Mark Spitz.
Congratulations! Here, let's do a few photos going in as well. We've got, yep.